Hey friends, family, world, it's Luke here. For those of you who don't know me, my husband Tyler and I recently moved from North America to Europe, currently in Belfast, Northern Ireland, and we started this YouTube channel just to talk about some of our travel experiences here in Europe. So if you haven't checked out our other videos, feel free to check them out on our channel, and also to check out our blog, lukeandtyler.com. For today's video, I wanted to talk to you guys about a recent travel experience we had going to Dublin. We got up bright and early on a Saturday morning and headed down to Dublin. One of the first major stops we went to was Trinity College, Dublin. From our understanding, the guided tour is required in order to get into some of the more interesting places on the campus, such as the Book of Kells and the Trinity College Library. When the tour was finished, we got admission into the library, which was amazing. The library is so beautiful, and some interesting tidbits that we learned was that they actually ordered the books not only in terms of alphabetical order, but also in terms of size and weight. So the heavier, larger books you'll find are concentrated on the bottom shelves, whereas the really teeny tiny, smaller books are on the higher shelves. It was also really cool to see the Book of Kells, which is an ancient document that has really pretty artwork and Irish folklore, but unfortunately we couldn't really take any photos or videos of that. But even just seeing how well preserved the book is pretty exciting to see. After Trinity College, we went to an area of Dublin called St. Stephen's Green, which is one of a couple pretty green parks in the city. This is a nice area just to kind of take a stroll and take in the quiet environment. We really liked how walkable Dublin was and how easy it was to get from one place to another. We didn't use any public transit or taxis or anything other than walking during our time in Dublin, and we found this to be very doable. After this, we headed to Dublin Castle. This was a guided tour where we saw some of the grounds of some of the ancient ruins from the wall that used to surround the city of Dublin, but also some of the more modern additions, such as the palace. Also part of Dublin Castle is the Chapel Royal, which is a beautiful chapel that's connected to the castle and has gone through many different areas of being consecrated and deconsecrated. After this, we grabbed lunch at a really cute place called the Church Cafe Bar and Restaurant, which is actually an old church that they transformed into a functioning restaurant. Apparently, this is where Guinness himself, of the famous Guinness beers, got married. We also took the time to walk around the famous Temple Bar area. We didn't go to Temple Bar itself because we had friends in Belfast tell us that it's a bit touristy and overpriced, but we did want to at least explore the area a little bit, and it is a cute place to walk around on the cobblestone streets and just enjoy a nice stroll. Not long after that, we went to St. Patrick's Cathedral. This is a beautiful cathedral commemorating St. Patrick. St. Patrick holds so much significance in Ireland because he is credited for bringing Christianity to the island of Ireland. Even if religion is not something that typically interests you, this is still something I would recommend, given that the architecture is beautiful and the history of how Christianity was brought to Ireland is interesting to learn about. We finished our day at the Guinness Storehouse. Obviously, Guinness is one of those things that Ireland is most known for. For us, we had a certain expectation of what it would be. We had certain preconceptions of how we thought the tour would be structured, as we had been on brewery tours before, and we thought that it would be more a guide walking you through and telling you about the history of Guinness and how the beer is made and all of those things. But the structure of the tour is very much different than what we expected, but by the end, we appreciated it. So when you get in, you realize fairly quickly that this is not actually a guided tour and is rather a self-guided tour. What I came to realize is that this was essentially a museum for beer rather than a brewery. However, I still ended up enjoying this tour. One thing that was very touristy is that we got what's called a stoutie, which is where they take a picture of you. In our case, we got a picture of both of us together, and they are able to download it, I guess, onto a computer, and then they're able to laser print your image onto the foam of a pint of Guinness beer. It sounds kind of lame, but we loved it. It was our favorite part of the tour, and we loved the whole process of it. The next day, Sunday, was markedly less busy for us than Saturday. A big item on our itinerary for Sunday was going to, and I apologize, Irish pronunciation is a bit challenging for me, but I believe it's called Kilmainham Gaol, which is an old jail that has a lot of relevance for Irish history, and in particular, its fight for independence from Great Britain. The tour of the jail itself was very interesting, while it was also quite sad. We learned a lot about the brutal conditions that prisoners lived in, which actually included prisoners as young as 5 years old. Afterwards, we went to the National Museum of Ireland, which had a little less information about the history of Ireland than I thought. It had more historical artifacts from ancient civilizations without much background of how Irish culture was at that time. One thing to note though is that it is free, so that is something to consider if you are looking for things to do on a rainy day. I hope you enjoyed our review of our experiences in Dublin. If you liked this video and want to see more videos like it, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel and stay tuned for future videos. Next, I'll be talking about our trip to Stonehenge, Bath, and Lake Hawk in southern England. See you then.